Okay, first, good night, friends. First, I have to tell you about the lot of difficulties that I faced in even starting this live video, guys. Oh my god. This Google, okay, they suddenly change everything. They change the interface and everything, and there was a hard time for me to even arrange live video. And right now there are two entries actually. There is a duplicate one. I have to delete it, but there is no clue. There is no way that I can even delete this video. I don't know what the hell is going on here, man, with Google. Okay. Yeah, let me wait for people to come, okay? Because right now there is nobody who is watching this, but I believe that some people will come and join this video. Okay. Let me first figure out, okay? I'm also on my laptop right now. It shows two different entries for this live video. One is, oh my god. Give me a second, okay? So hope you are all doing fine. Yeah, there is one person who is watching right now. Okay, so I'm hoping that more people will join. Uh, so how are you? How is Onam? How is everything going on in your life? I want to talk about a lot of things today. Okay, about social issues. Mainly, I wanted to talk about my personal life, how I grew up. Okay, and a lot of things that happened in my life when I was young, and things that shaped my future, my behavior, my thoughts, and everything. Okay. Science and spirituality. Hi. So, a lot of things to say, man. But I was a little bit frustrated just a few minutes before, because of all these troubles that I had. Okay. Mm, so yeah, I know that it has been a very long time since I came on live or since I made videos, but stay tuned, okay? I am planning a lot of things. Only thing is that there is a very less support, okay? Very less support for these kind of activities, because not everyone understands all these things, right? So because people are right now, I'm working too, okay? I've got a job, okay? And I believe I have shared certain things with you guys about getting a job and why I don't want to work in a company. 1 year before, I was for 2 years, okay, since 2000 to 2022, I was making a lot of videos, and I thought that will be how I will, that is how I will lead my entire life, making videos without having to depend on anybody. And I was receiving a lot of donations, and then many things happened, and my life uh, there was a complete change in my life, okay? And now again I am on a job, and I will tell you something, okay? First of all, I will tell you something very, very funny, very, very weird and funny, okay? I told you one reason why I didn't want to work in a call center was because there is a lot of cheating going on, okay? In a call center, you have to lie to people, and unfortunately, I am doing this right now. Every day I'm lying to people. I'm working for a company which sells data, okay, database to people, and we have to lie every single day. I'm lying. First of all, starting from my name, the name that I tell them is not my original name. I use a duplicate name, and then everything is a lie. 90% of what I say is a lie, but I have to, because that is the only way to survive in this world. If I tell you people that please donate me, I will do my best to bring a lot of changes in this world. I will do my best to bridge science and spirituality. Please help me, support me, and donate me. People don't do it, right? A lot of people even told me, you are lazy, go and get a job. It is not that I am lazy, okay? I have worked in a lot of companies before. I have written 3 books. I have written a lot of articles in my blog, and then I know about you guys know about my YouTube channel, right? The videos that I had before, right? So yes, I was working hard. I was making a lot of videos. I was happy that I was being authentic those days. But now, unfortunately, I am lying every day to people because nobody is ready to support me. There is very, very less people. And there is a reason for that. I will let you know, okay? First, I want to talk about my own childhood, okay? Because nobody knows about it. I don't think that I have shared much about my own childhood before, okay? So, yeah, I'm also noticing the comments that I'm getting right now. In the meantime, if there is anything that requires immediate attention, I would respond immediately. Okay, good. Yeah. Science and spirituality. Okay, good. Actually, my life suddenly changed in 2015. I saw some light. Then, after, I'm not doing anything in my life, but I'm satisfied. Okay, cool. So, let me talk about my childhood, okay? Because I think my subscribers have to know about this. My father and my mother, okay? My mother is still alive. My father is dead 2 years before he died. And I think I have told you about this before. My father was, I have never called him as my father, okay? Like addressing him personally, okay? I never called him because he was so terrifying. He made me to feel, you know, very insecure, and I was afraid of him. I was scared of him. Okay, he used to beat me up like anything. He did not have any mercy. I'm sorry to say this. Okay, I don't mean to badmouth anybody, but this is something that happened. Okay, I have to tell this because not because I want to badmouth my father, not because I want to like abuse him, but I want to let you know that you shouldn't do this at all, okay, to your kid, okay. He would beat me up, okay, he would beat me up like anything. So I used to hate him. I was completely scared of him, okay. I always used to stay away because whenever I saw my father, it was like seeing a tiger or a lion or something that is cruel animal who was going to eat me up. That is how I saw my father, okay. I never ever received that love. In fact, I was very, very jealous about people, okay. When I was young, I was very, very jealous about people who had loving father, okay. It was a dream for me because my father was an animal. And I'm being very, very frank. I'm telling you the truth, okay. It is not that I'm angry about him, that is why I'm telling you this. This is the truth, okay. He was an arrogant animal. He used to beat me up like anything. Think about this, okay. I used to get first rank in my class, okay. I used to get first rank when I was in third, fourth, fifth, and sixth grade. I used to get first rank in my class. And if I get second rank, guess what will happen? My father will beat me up for getting the second rank. Do you really think that it is human, okay, to beat your child just because he got second rank? Again, okay, this is not the reason why I'm saying this is not because I want to like portray my father in a bad light, but unfortunately that is the impression that you will get when I say this, okay, but that is not my intention, okay. That is how he treated me, okay. He treated me very, very badly, very, very cruelly, okay. I am saying all this because a lot of people don't understand my background in the first place, okay. You need to first understand my background, how I grew up, and how I finally thought that spirituality is the only solution, okay. to get what I want in my life. And I got it. That is for sure, okay. I got the ultimate satisfaction that everyone is looking for. So whatever I do, whatever I do right now, no matter what people think, is just something that I do to spend the rest of my life, right? Whatever that is most meaningful in my life, that is what becomes an action, okay. So so yes, I think this one example will tell you, okay, just because your kid is getting second rank, if you're beating him up, what can he do? I ran away from my home when I was in fifth grade because I didn't want to live with my father. So I ran away from my home. I thought that maybe I can live as a beggar, maybe I can live anywhere else, but I can't live with my father because he was such a cruel animal who would just beat me up for anything. Okay, he was completely arrogant. Okay, he wanted to obey everyone. Okay, whatever he says, everyone should obey. Even till the date he died, that is exactly what his position. Okay, that was his position. He wanted everybody else to obey him, everybody else to agree with him. Okay, and a lot of things, guys, a lot of things happened. I was bullied a lot in school because, first of all, because of poor parenting. Okay, my mom was very, very innocent. She was also, still she is, struggling with some kind of psychological issues which I don't understand. Okay, it is beyond me, and I am carrying their genes. So what can I do, right? I have their genetics. So I have to tell you this too, okay? Because I know that a lot of people who are watching this video are spiritual seekers, right? And you have some kind of expectations about spiritual enlightenment, right? What do you think about spiritual enlightenment? What do you think that, I mean, uh, what do you think that spiritual enlightenment is going to give you? First of all, this is the question that you have to ask yourself, okay? Because I ask this to many people who send me emails, okay? They say that I want spiritual enlightenment, I want to get enlightened, I'm looking for it. So the first question is, what are you expecting out of it? What do you think that spiritual enlightenment will give you? This is very important to understand, because unless you understand the destination, okay, unless you understand where you are going to reach, there is no point in traveling, right? If you are traveling somewhere, you need to know where you are going to reach. If you don't even have a clear idea about the destination, then you don't have any clue about where you are traveling, right? So I think I should be very, very clear about this. What is spiritual enlightenment and what will really happen when you follow all these steps, okay? First, yes, it will answer your ultimate question about the satisfaction of life, okay? Generally, what you're looking for in your life, okay? It is like you're traveling in your life, okay? In your life, you're traveling towards the future, right? Everyone is looking forward to a better future. In the future, I will become this. In the future, I will become that. In the future, I will get this. In the future, I will be happy. So, there is something that the future is going to give you. That is what you believe, right? Future is going to give you something which is not there in the present moment. Do you understand my point? So, whether you are seeking spiritual enlightenment, or whether you are seeking wealth, or whether you are seeking a beautiful girl in your life, all you're expecting is this. You think that future is going to give you something which is not there in the present moment, right? So the ultimate the spiritual enlightenment, it gives you something, okay, something to satisfy you, so that you no longer wait for the future to give you something, okay? You no longer have to rely on the future. You no longer say, okay, in the future I will be happy, because you're happy right now. Do you understand this? If you're happy and fulfilled and satisfied right now, why would you depend on the future? Now you may ask me a question, okay? So if you say that you are satisfied right now, why are you doing all these things? Why are you, maybe, for a lot of times I talk about things that might happen in the future, which might be a great experience, right? So, what is it going to give me? Is it going to give me a satisfaction that enlightenment did not give? Have you ever asked this question yourself, right? Because every enlightened person does something, right? Take Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Ramana Maharishi, Osho, or anybody, okay, anybody, not just famous people. They still continue to live in their life. They still strive for something, right? Why? Because first of all, they have to live their life, right? Even though you are satisfied right now in the present moment, you are still alive. So it means that there is still function for your body, okay? There is still something that you have to do, okay? Something that nature expects you to do for this world. So you will continue acting, you will continue having emotions, you will continue even having preferences and plans for future. But none of this, okay, whether you fail in this or whether you win in this. Like, for example, right now, I am completely satisfied with my life, okay? I'm happy, I'm completely fulfilled, but I still have certain plans for future. I still think that if this happens in the next 5 years, then it will be great. But is it going to add anything to my satisfaction? No. But it will add, certainly, it will contribute to the world in the first place, okay? Second, that is how I can live my life, because there should be some driving force in your life which drives you to do activities, to do things even after enlightenment, okay? So that will happen, okay? So a lot of people misunderstand enlightenment. That is what I would say, because in today's world where everything is globalized, okay, you can access everything on the internet. You can read Bhagavad Gita on the internet, you can read Upanishads, you can read all kinds of secret wisdoms which was transmitted secretly 2000 years before, okay? 2000 years before, if you want to learn Advaita, you have to go to a guru. He will not admit you. He will not admit you. He will make you to work. You have to do all kinds of work. You have to do gardening. You have to serve food to people. You have to do all kinds of work. You have to earn the trust of the guru. And then after 2 or 3 years, he will admit you. He will agree to teach you Advaita Vedanta. That is exactly how you will even begin to learn spirituality. But all those secrets are right now made completely open. Everybody can access it. So what happens is many people who have come across this, they will certainly they will certainly go through a revelation. They will go through a profound moment or experience, okay, after encountering all this. Because just the exposure alone, if you get exposed to a proper guru or the proper text which gives you an idea about spirituality, you will not only be completely impressed, your whole life will change after that. You will have a new idea about life, you will have a new vision about life. In fact, sometimes it will even change your whole experience. And that is exactly what happened in 2003 or 4, okay? When I was first introduced to the books of Osho and I was first introduced to the spirit, I already knew about spirituality, but everything that I knew was just a memory, okay? You can read Bhagavad Gita, right? You can read Bhagavad Gita right now. You can memorize all the 700 verses. You can memorize the meaning. You can even deliver speeches, but everything comes only from your memory. None of it comes from your experience. Do you understand this? So there is a difference between what you will learn and commit to your memory. You can learn a lot of things and commit to your memory. For example, if I ask you something like what is samadhi, you might give me an answer. What is yoga? You might give me an answer. What is Advaita Vedanta? You might give me an answer. But all these answers, most of the time, comes from what you have memorized, the concepts that you have memorized. Do you understand this? Some people, for example, like, you just begin to learn about Advaita Vedanta. Maybe your teacher says, okay, Advaita Vedanta teaches that everything is one. Brahman is the only reality. You memorize this, and whenever somebody asks you what Advaita Vedanta teaches, you just answer, okay, yeah, I know, what Advaita Vedanta teaches. Everything is one. There is no difference. There is no distinction. Everything is Brahman. But what does this do to your life? Does this change your experience? Does this make you happy? Just because you can answer a question, okay, just because you're able to answer a question based upon what you have read in a book, it doesn't change your experience, right? So what should really happen is there should be a change in experience. The teaching should make you to realize, to even at least get a glimpse of Advaita Vedanta. And that is what happened in 2000, okay? But, okay, in 2000, not 2000, 2003 or 2004, okay? It was a glimpse. And during the glimpse, I was very much excited, okay? It was like finding something absolutely awesome, okay? I was very, very happy because I found something that I never knew before. By my experience, I experienced it. That experience, okay, gave me a lot of hope, lot of trust. I suddenly saw, okay, my life is completely different, but I was not enlightened. This is exactly what you should pay attention to. I was not completely enlightened. I was not living in non-duality. I only discovered a secret path. Okay, it is not a secret path anyway, but yeah, it is still a secret path for me because I didn't know that before, right? So that is exactly what I discovered. But when I discovered it in the next few months, I was very excited about it. I even wanted to share it with people. I wanted to tell people about it. I made some. Those days there was no YouTube, right? I didn't even have a phone in the first place. So forget about smartphone. I didn't even have a phone. Okay, it was in 2003 or 2004. But I still spoke with my friends. I still wrote down a lot of things, and unconsciously there was unconsciously, okay, unconsciously there was a desire to be a teacher, to teach people about this, okay. This desire will certainly come when you are in the spiritual journey. You have to make a note of it, because I recently encountered a person who is stuck in this level, okay, who is stuck in this level where she, okay, actually she's a woman. She wants to teach other people about spiritual enlightenment while she is not she is not living in non-duality completely 24 bar 7. Now, it is not that she is doing something wrong or evil, but it is just that she doesn't know what she is doing, right? There is nobody to tell her, and if I tell her, she won't take it, because that is how it is, right? I don't have any authority. I'm just a normal human being who is sharing any things. But there is a lot of temptation to become a teacher. First of all, you need to understand this. I have seen this tendency from a lot of people, okay, who think that becoming a teacher is a cool idea, right? It somehow serves your ego. It somehow it makes you feel special or different by becoming a spiritual teacher. But you need to understand, the goal of the spiritual journey is not to become a teacher, okay. In today's world, we have a lot of teachers teaching spirituality. In fact, it has become a business, okay. The world is saturated with so-called spiritual teachers who do nothing, okay, who just say, for example, this woman, makes a video saying that, do what you want to do, okay, thank you, that's it. So what is the point of this video? I don't understand. So where is spirituality? The thing is, this is some kind of loophole, or like something that you have to be aware of when you are traveling in the spiritual path. And when it comes to my journey, thankfully, when I was reading Osho's books, he said that, don't stop anywhere, don't conclude. No matter what happens in your life, You will come across a lot of beautiful, extraordinary experiences in the spiritual path. And a lot of times you would want to share. That is okay. If you want to share, that is okay. If you have a good time, for example, if you go to a restaurant today, if you have a good time, you would want to share this to your friends, right? If you watch a movie and if you like it, you would want to share this. But when it comes to sharing what happens to your spiritual path, you have to be very, very careful, because when you pretend that you are a teacher, okay, when you like that idea, when you like the specialness that comes because you are a teacher and a lot of people are listening to you, that will actually stop any further progress in your spiritual journey. Do you understand this? I mean, am I making sense? Yeah, there is something that I want to that I want to say. Okay, I think I'm stuck in the same kind of situation. Okay, see, this is very, very normal. Okay, first of all, this happens. Okay, I have seen this. A lot of people have this temptation. First of all, I will tell you one thing. Okay, as soon as you discover this, okay, I am pretty sure that a lot of the subscribers, a lot of my subscribers, have already discovered that path. Okay, this the real spiritual path. You already know. Maybe most of the people already know why spirituality makes sense. Okay, suddenly, for example, for me, okay, before 2004 I had studied everything. I studied Bhagavad Gita. I read all kinds of scriptures. Okay, I read everything, but whatever I read, okay, it was only in my memory. I was an expert, but that expertise happened because of just my memory. Okay, see, there is no difference between studying biology, studying history, and studying this kind of spirituality, right? You can just read a book and you can remember what the book has said, and then you can believe that you know what spirituality is all about. But all this is borrowed knowledge, the knowledge that comes from the books. None of that comes from your own experience. Okay, you need to understand this. So yeah, I was about to say something. uh, since there are a lot of things to say, I'm sorry guys, I keep forgetting where I left. So yeah, in 2004, that is exactly what happened. Suddenly there was a discovery. So yeah, it is very, very normal. The only thing that you should keep in mind is you have to keep progressing. Don't stay anywhere. Okay, you will come across many, many beautiful experiences. Okay, there is a couple of questions here. Why did you delete your videos? First of all, I didn't delete my videos. Okay, my account was kind of hacked. Okay, it was hacked, kind of. Okay, I didn't want to go through the details right now, but that is what happened. But now I have full control over my YouTube videos, but unfortunately, I don't have my past videos. Okay, so I can't upload them any longer. Tell the story of ex-GF Iranian girl. I have already told, man. Okay, there is nothing else that I have to say. In your previous video, I didn't understand. Did you mean your childhood friend Ramesh is reborn as Surya Gayatri? Okay, yes. I mean, that is what I think. But tomorrow, if I see Ramesh, and if tomorrow if I come to know that Ramesh is still alive, okay, because Ramesh is my childhood friend, you are right, okay. Thank you for paying attention. At least I'm happy that somebody is actually remembering things that I have said in my previous videos, okay. Yes, it is true, okay. It is true that, see, when it comes to Surya Gayatri's story, okay, it is not what you think and it is not what many people think. Almost everybody misunderstood this. Unless it happens to you, you won't understand, because this is extraordinary. This is something that I have never encountered before in my life. It is mysterious, so I really do want to get an answer. See, when you come across any mysterious phenomenon, okay. In fact, I would narrate something that Ramesh himself told me. Okay, when I was traveling in school bus, Ramesh one day told me. Okay, there was a vehicle. I saw him. I saw that vehicle for sure. Okay, there was no driver in the vehicle, but the vehicle was still moving without the driver. And I asked Ramesh, "Are you telling me the truth, How can a vehicle move without a driver? But I saw this. I'm pretty sure that I saw this with my own eyes. Now you will have a natural curiosity to explore and find out the answer, right? That is exactly what I have, guys. Okay, nothing else. Because a lot of because you can just simplify these things like lust, affection, attachment. A lot of things. A lot of people have said this. Okay, and it makes me laugh seriously. Honestly, I'm telling you. Okay, I'm not telling you. I'm not lying to you. Okay, honestly, I'm telling you. This makes me laugh because a lot of people told me this is attachment. Oh my God! Please. Okay, I know all about attachment in my entire life. I have explored this. Okay, what attachment is and what is not attachment and everything else. And yeah, I know what happens after spiritual journey, what happens after you live in non-duality 24 bar 7. Okay, so yeah, that's about it. Okay, this is very, very mysterious. I still don't know the answer, to be honest. Okay. Okay. See, yeah, I'll be happy to answer your questions. Okay, shoot me all your questions. Okay, there are a lot of questions here. Since it has been a long time, uh, I am very happy to answer your questions. So, Kushagra Trivedi, you explained in earlier video that our intentions reincarnate. That this means intentions can exist independent of flesh and matter. So, is it true that there are some things beyond matter? Okay, now this question raises more questions. How do you define matter in the first place? Like for example, like is intention? This is a very tricky question. Like what does matter in the first place? What does matter? Like let me see the definition myself, guys, because I'm not a science expert, right? I'm in front of the laptop right now because I need to know how matter is defined to let you know that if there is anything beyond matter. Already science knows there is something called antimatter, but I don't know anything about it because I'm not a scientist, right? Honestly speaking, I'm not a scientist. I don't know. I can be wrong when it comes to science. I'm not Jaggi Vasudev. Matter is a substance made up of various types of particles that occupies physical space. Does intention occupies physical space? No, right? No matter how many intention you have, it doesn't occupy space. I haven't completed the definition yet. So there are things beyond matter right now. You know that, right? You have intentions. Does intention occupies physical space? Yes. To be very accurate, it does occupy space because just because you have a body, you have intention. So there are some kind of neurons which are triggering those, right? But anyway, you can have a lot of different intentions, right? And these intentions, okay, let me first finish this. Physical space, according to the principles of modern physics, various types of particles each have a specific mass and size. So forget about all these things, okay? First of all, when I talked about those things, about intentions, it is a hypothesis, okay? Till now, I'm not completely sure about it. I have observed certain things. I have made a note of it. And I didn't know whether I should share these things with you or not. But finally, I decided to, okay? But yes, I had already shared it with one person, and that is with my Iranian girlfriend. And somebody already asked this question, and I told, okay, I don't want to talk about it more because it doesn't serve any purpose, right? It is not going to be interesting to anybody else, right? But yes, there are things beyond. Obviously, there should be things beyond matter, right? It is hypothetical, okay? So, but you need to first ask yourself, why are you asking this question? What are you really trying to understand from this, okay? Next question. If it is true that the body-mind entity is empty of self, then is it true that the appearance of Shanmugam, the person, is like an empty shell, robot, or tape recorder? Okay, a tape recorder doesn't have consciousness, right? A tape recorder is not conscious of at least according to our understanding and observation, it appears a tape recorder doesn't have consciousness. We don't know for sure because, consciousness is a very, very subjective phenomenon, right? So we don't know for sure. But one thing is, yes, consciousness can exist without the idea of self, okay? Because self is just an idea, right? It is just an idea. See, you can see my body, right? You can see my body. It is just a matter, okay? Just now we were discussing about matter. This body occupies space, right? Matter is something that occupies space, physical space, and has inertia, right? So this body has inertia and occupies physical space. So this is just matter, empty matter. But there is also consciousness. This body is conscious, right? And this consciousness can exist without the idea of self. And that is exactly what happens with a child, okay? A child which is completely newborn, a child which is newborn, okay? Does that child has any idea about the self? Does that child has self-image or self-esteem? No. But that child still has consciousness, right? The child is still conscious of things. So yes, consciousness can exist without the idea of self. So Shanmugam, the person, is not like an empty shell robot or tape recorder. It is a conscious entity, okay? It comes out of whatever I speak comes out of consciousness. What is the difference between attachment and love? I think this answer is very obvious, right? You have already read a lot of books. You already have been listening to a lot of people. So you already know what it is, okay? Attachment is, you can be attached to anything, right? You can be attached to your mobile phone. Tomorrow when you find your mobile phone missing, obviously you will feel the pain of not having the phone because you were very much attached to it. But love, on the other hand, the pure definition of love is that you care about the other person, okay? And when it comes to the word love, again, this word love, it has multiple definitions. First of all, the pure love is like you can love anybody, right? You can love somebody who is living in Australia because he is a human being. You love him even if you don't know him before. You can still love him because love is not directed to a person in the first place. Love is a quality, okay, that you have, that everybody has. You have to uncover it, okay? Everybody has the quality of love, but you have to uncover it. Once you uncover it, you will be able to feel the love with each and every human being. But you might have a special relationship with a person and you might get attached even after enlightenment. You have to make a note of this because attachment can exist even after enlightenment, but it serves certain purpose. You know what it is, okay? You are not really harmed by it. It serves a purpose. It is a very useful attachment, okay? Not just attachment, anything, okay? When it is only has a, like for example, anything, okay, whatever it is, okay, if you are eating food, you have to have a limited amount of salt. If there is no salt in food, the food will not taste good. If there is too much salt, the food will not taste good either. I have given this example many times before, okay? There will be emotions, attachment and pain even after enlightenment, but the quantity of it is very, very small. Not only it is very, very small, it is completely required for you to continue living in this life, because without any kind of emotions you cannot survive. You cannot really live a social life, because emotions play a very important role in social relationships, okay? Without emotions, you are just a stone. And without attachment too, you are just a stone, because if you are born as a human being, whether you are enlightened or not, you will have some attachment, okay? And that attachment will continue to drive your life. Do you understand this? When you love, you let them be free. In attachment, you try to possess them. Okay, that is a very, very, like, I that is true. Okay, that is true that you when you are attached, you want to possess them, but it depends on the quantity of the attachment. Also has a quantity, right? If there is a measurement scale for attachment, for example, okay, there is a unit scale to measure attachment. We can measure length, we can measure mass, we can measure weight, but there is no way to measure attachment, right? But how about, what if I say that 0.00001 unit of attachment is still necessary for you to live your life. It is true, okay? You have to have some kind of attachments, but normally, I get your point. This is true. Normally, people want to possess somebody. That is exactly what they call as love, right? They say that they love somebody, but in reality, they want to possess them. They want to have their like for example, they want to live with them, they want to own them, they want to you get the point, right? You understand what I'm saying? Okay. A lot of questions here, man. Do you think Surya Gayatri remembers you and have glimpses of her previous life when you talk about this? I don't understand your question actually. And have glimpses of her previous life when you talk about this. Okay, I don't really understand your question. Okay, and also when it comes to Surya Gayatri and the topic, I want to deal this with an extreme care because there's a lot of misunderstanding, guys. I'm really sorry to say. I've encountered a lot of things just because nobody knows the whole story, right? People judge without knowing the whole story. See, forget about Surya Gayatri. Your life is something that is known completely only to you, right? Only you know your life. So when you do something, whatever it is, you have certain explanation. Maybe you cannot put it in words right away, but you know why you're doing this, right? Because you know your life. You know you have lived your life, right? So for me, this is a different story, guys. One thing that, to my observation, I'm being very honest, okay? When it comes to Surya, let me be very frank, okay? I'm not afraid of saying this because a lot of days have passed, okay, right? I still find that Surya Gayatri has a special place in my heart, but it is not an attachment. I am completely okay if I don't get to meet her any longer in my rest of my life, but still I will treasure her because there are a lot of reasons, guys. There are a lot of reasons. This is completely different, okay? This is in fact, I know I told you just before, right? I have never experienced this kind of bondage before in my life. I'm being very honest. I'm not exaggerating, okay? When it comes to Surya Gayatri, there is a certain kind of I have no words. Honestly, I have no words. Okay, I because it is. You can say anything like it is all these words. Okay, admiration, appreciation, attachment, love. All these words do not fulfill. I mean, do not convey what I am feeling towards it. So I don't know. It is a mystery. Okay, it is definitely a mystery, guys. So let me go back to the next question. Can consciousness arise independent of matter? Okay, this is an age-old question. Do you know this? Do you know this? Can consciousness arise independent of matter? I think so, but I don't know for sure because I don't have a proof, right? I don't have an evidence. But personally, I think consciousness can exist independent of matter. I think that it is possible, but I don't have a proof to show you. And this is a very age-old question because in Indian philosophy, for example, there was Sankhya philosophy and there was Advaita. Okay, Sankhya argued that the world was created from unconscious phenomenon. Okay, unconscious matter, because consciousness does not do any actions. You cannot attribute any actions to consciousness. Consciousness is simply conscious. So since consciousness cannot do any action, probably the action was the result of some kind of unconscious phenomenon. There was no consciousness. So the Sankhya philosophy, this was the original philosophy. I have to tell you, okay, Sankhya was probably the oldest philosophy that we know. Okay, there might have been many other thoughts of schools and philosophies, and when I say the word philosophy, I'm just using it, just like that. Okay, because a lot of people don't like the word philosophy. I know that. because it is just theoretical, okay, right? But Sakya believed that the world uh, came, okay, the world was created by unconscious matter or phenomena. But Advaita Vedanta, on the other hand, argued that unconsciousness cannot create consciousness. So consciousness should have created the world. This argument doesn't really serve any purpose because, in spite of these arguments, both Sankhya school and Advaita Vedanta school still contributed, still help people to realize their own, nature. All both of these schools help people to reach enlightenment in spite of this contradiction. Do you understand this? Sankhya and Advaita Vedanta contradicts when it comes to the origin, how the world was created. So still now we don't have a complete answer. But in my opinion, I think that consciousness was the origin. And even now there is a model, okay, there is a scientist who says the same thing. I will talk about it maybe in the future, okay. So we are interested, tell us hypothesis or not share. I think I already shared it in my previous videos, right? There are no separate selves, but there are multiple separate consciousness. You need to first ask yourself these questions, because for me, okay, these questions did not matter to me at all, and I have answered these questions in my first book, okay. In my first book I've answered this very clearly about this, okay. For example, see, there are a lot of schools that exist, right? Like, I have compared the school of yoga as well as school of Advaita Vedanta. According to the school of yoga, okay, there are multiple purushas, okay, which exist in the space, because everybody has consciousness, right? You are conscious and I am conscious. But if in your experience, okay, in your experience, okay, if you look at it very carefully, in your experience, only by inference you know that other person is conscious, right? But the only thing that you have is your own consciousness. Nothing else is there, right? Everything is just a like image. Like, for example, there is a screen and there are images that you see. There is a screen, right? You see the screen, and the screen is not going to be visible all the time, right? So there can be different pictures on the screen, but the screen stays the same, right? And that is what your experience is all about. I can't elaborate on this because it will take a lot of time, but I have talked about this in my first book, okay. We can, but this is not really very important whether there are multiple consciousness, it is not really a theory, okay. The only point of spirituality is whether you reach where I have reached or not, okay. If you are thirsty, you need water, okay. You don't have to research about the water. As long as the water quenches your thirst, it is fine. But yes, you can do research after that. But I don't have an answer. To be very honest, I don't really have answer for all these questions. I don't claim that I know everything, okay. I'm very clear about this. I have never ever said that I have know everything, because a lot of people who claim to be enlightened, many people have actually projected that image as if they knew everything. I don't know everything. I can be wrong, okay. I mean, especially when it comes to this matters which I am not expert of, right? So next question is, who is that becomes enlightened? To whom does the realization occurs? Does the seeker himself becomes enlightened, or the enlightenment itself? See, this is just a play of words, right? So in reality, nobody becomes enlightened. The person disappears. That is the truth, okay. I disappeared, okay. There was a very strong feeling of personal self when it comes to me, okay. I thought of myself as a personal self, okay. I am different from somebody. I'm different from everything. That was not just my feeling, that was not my thought, that was also my experience, right? But that experience completely disappeared, okay. So there is no point in asking, so who, if there is only one self, then who becomes enlightened? This is all just, like a play of words, right? But in reality, you don't really, in fact, the thing is, the thing is, you cannot convey the real nature of enlightenment in words, because no matter what you say, in some way you can prove it wrong. Do you understand what I'm saying? Logically, if you speak about enlightenment, no matter what you say verbally, it is possible to prove that what I just said is wrong. You need to keep this in mind, because verbalization, okay, uh, verbally describing about the actual feeling of enlightenment is not possible at all. And when you say it, the moment you say it, it'll become false. You might have heard about this before, and it is completely true. Okay, I hope you get my point. The person isn't like a robot because there is consciousness, but okay, I understand your point. Okay, if there is just consciousness, and if he has no sense of self, how will he exist? He will he exist like a robot? This question has come to me before. Okay, will it be like, will it be like will you be like, that is what you're asking, right? Like, are you a robot? No. Again, you have to see it for yourself. Okay, it is not that you are a robot, because obviously you're consciousness, but you obviously you're conscious, but you can exist without the feeling that you are separate from the rest of the existence. Okay, this feeling can disappear and you can still exist. So no matter how you try to understand it, it is not about understanding. Okay, this is not a concept, this is not a theory, this is not a topic. Okay, if you talk about a theory, maybe, understanding the theory um, is something that is very, very important when I'm talking about a theory. But spirituality, when it comes to spiritual enlightenment, most of the people take it as a theory. They understand it, they try to understand it theoretically or conceptually. Okay, that is not going to work at all. You have to discover uh, yourself. Okay, is looking to score more marks in exams the same as looking to get any material possessions? Okay, looking to score. I don't know why you're asking this question, man. See, the motivation might be different. Okay, when I was, for example, in my example, when I was looking to score more marks, it was lot of times it was attached to my ego, right? But getting more possessions can also mean that you want to get more comfortable. You want to get more, like, like, for example, driving in a car is obviously more comfortable than walking, right? You can, anytime you can take a car. If you have a car, if you have, or if you own a house, then there are a lot of you know you know you know what I mean, right? But I don't think this is a very important question anyway, unless you elaborate it. If anybody have another question, if anybody have trying to not attach with anything or anybody, then what happened is life. I have no idea what you're saying, man. Please rephrase your question. Another question here. Please explain the gateless gate and Ajata concept of Advaita Vedanta. There is no enlightenment, no world, no seeker, no realization. What is Ajata? Ajata means unborn. Okay, Jata means born, Ajata means unborn. Again, the person who is asking these questions, you are trying to understand this theoretically. It is not going to work. Okay, you are trying to understand this conceptually. You will never ever understand this conceptually. Maybe you didn't what I can suggest you is go to a Vipassana retreat. Okay, do you know there is the most safest retreat that I can recommend to people is Vipassana. I know that there are a lot of Vipassana retreats that happen. Okay, where you go ahead, they don't give any kind of dogma or theory. There is no cult following or anything like that. But I don't know if in my own state there is no Vipassana retreats happening, but I've heard about this. Or maybe you can go ahead and attend any kind of meditation retreat, but make sure, okay, make sure, because a lot of these retreats can be dangerous because a lot of cults are there. The retreat will be useful, even if it is a cult, for example. let us take Isha Foundation, okay. I attended Baba Spandana program in Isha Foundation. The Baba Spandana program itself was very useful for my spiritual journey, which I will admit, because they had certain techniques, they had meditations which helped me to grow. But at the same time, they also, what do you call, they teach you many things. They kind of, it is a cult, right? I have told you that before. So yeah, go ahead and because this question, you are again and again asking the same question, okay, without having anything in your experience. If you go ahead and attend some meditation retreat, some kind of glimpse will happen to you, okay, a new door will open. You will never ever have this question again at all, I'm telling you, okay. So you said Vishistadvaita is the highest one. Yes. Thank you very much for remembering what I said in my previous video. Vishishtadvaita, not the highest one, is the final one actually. Okay. Highest and lowest, all these things don't apply after enlightenment, right? It is the final realization, because when it comes to Advaita Vedanta, okay, you cannot live with that experience any longer, because you have to come down, okay. You climb a hill and then you again come down, okay. That is exactly how spiritual process works. You again come down, okay, come down to the level of people. You know what it is, okay, but you still live like everybody else. So that is Vishishtadvaita. Like, for example, Dvaita. When it comes to Dvaita, I am different. God is different. I have to reach God, okay. God is like, don't, again, God is not a person, okay. God is the ultimate realization, okay. So when it comes to Dvaita, you are separate and the divinity is separate. In Advaita, both are the same, because you reach the mountain. Again, you come down where you can live with other human beings, you can relate to them, but still you have that experience. You can go. It is like, it is, again, you have to experience it. But yes, the answer to your question is Vishishtadvaita is the final one, okay. So I have explained this before. Adi Shankaracharya was not wrong, okay. He just didn't talk about Vishishtadvaita, because even Advaita required a lot of explanation, right? So Vishishtadvaita is something that was explained by Ramanuja. Adi Shankara just didn't talk about this. That's it. But Vishishtadvaita is the final truth. That is what you will arrive at. So anybody who says Advaita is the final one is not really. I mean, they are still in the journey, okay. I mean, you will get to know that Vishishtadvaita is final one. That is my experience, okay. Next question. Are you more of a Bodhisattva or Arhata? Bodhisattva or Arhata, okay. This is all these are Buddhist concept, right? Arhata is someone who gets enlightened in this birth. Bodhisattva is someone who wants to help other people. See, I don't know in what context they said, okay. So for me, I don't really know, okay. For me, I just know I am just me, okay. All these are just labels, guys, okay. Every different religion have arrived with their own concepts, okay. For example, Buddhism and Advaita Vedanta, originally they were same, okay. But later on, when they were separated, okay, they actually built their own concepts, okay. Why do you want me to call anything, okay? There is a question. Can you be called as a mystic? Please call me Shanmugam, okay? That is my name, okay? Mystic, Arhata, Bodhisattva, enlightened. My name is Shanmugam. I am happy if you call me Shanmugam. Very simple, okay? Is mystic? Oh, see, this is all about, you're asking questions about vocabulary, okay? Meaning, okay? You can create a word right now and you can assign a meaning. If you are very popular, tomorrow everybody will think that like, do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, your questions are related to the language, what a word means, okay. These words have created a lot of confusion, okay. Forget about all these words, guys, okay. My name is Shanmugam, okay. I'm neither a mystic nor Arhata, nor Bodhisattva. I don't want to really associate myself with any of these words. Okay, can you? Next question: can you name those who are famous as enlightened person, but you feel that they are really not? That is not necessary, actually. Okay, because I might be wrong when I say this too, because it is very difficult. You might have heard this. You might have heard this. I have also heard this when I was a seeker. If you're enlightened, you will immediately recognize another enlightened person. That is not always true. Okay, but yes, there are a lot of people. Okay, a lot of people who are famous who see. It is not just when it comes to enlightenment. There are people who have got some glimpses. There are people who have made some progress after the glimpses. But when you are living in a complete non-duality, that is a totally different story. Okay, there is no. First of all, let me tell you this thing. Okay, there is no relationship between being famous and being enlightened. Just because you're enlightened, you don't become famous. Just because you're famous, when it comes to the spiritual field, it doesn't mean that you are enlightened either. Okay, so these things are completely different. Okay, don't connect being popular and being enlightened. Okay, these are not the same. These are not the same. And of course, there are many people in today's world who are famous who claim that they have reached what they have claimed, but they are not. They are, but they have still made a. I mean, I'm not putting them down. Okay, they are still different from the vast majority of population who are completely unconscious, right? So they are better, right? They are doing a better job. The only thing is they don't know. They didn't get enough guidance to let them know that there is still more to explore. Probably at some point of time they will discover it. Okay, but that is not important. You can actually take care of yourself. That is much more important. Okay, when it comes to you, make sure that you focus on your journey. It doesn't really matter if somebody else is enlightened or not. It is not really going to make a big difference. I'm telling you. Okay, we see around us that different people have different pain and suffering, more or less. So is there any reason for more pain, or is it just random situation without a reason? Does pain has any meaning? Okay, what are you really trying to ask? Because everybody is going through pain and pleasure, right? Everybody is going through pain and pleasure. Okay, so it is the way of life when you are born. Okay, there is a beautiful sloga in Bhagavad Gita. Matra sparshastu kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkha daha agamapayino anityaha tam titikshasva bharata. Means that if you are born, okay, if you are in touch with sense contacts, there is going to be pain and pleasure. Okay, it is not that everybody is experiencing different kind of pain. Okay, it is just the same. Okay, right, it is the same. It is just that everybody is going through different situations. That's it. Okay, and traditionally it is believed that it is because of karma. And yes, I don't know much about my past lives or anything like that. I have made that very clear in my book. Okay, whenever I say something, okay, you can trust me on this. Okay, whenever I say something, I don't make up things at all. If I don't know something, I will very clearly say I don't know. It won't take much for me to make up something, right? You can make up anything. For example, yeah, because this is because of that. Jackie Waste, for example, read his mystic musings. It is complete bullshit. But I believed it. Okay, I was very, very serious about it. I thought, okay, this guy is going to make a huge difference. I finally found my guru. I surrendered to him. I thought that he is going to save me, but this guy is complete bullshit. He is taking advantage of people like you. Okay, let me be very clear. He is taking advantage of people like you, because you are all wanting to go spiritually, right? That is why you are watching this video in the first place. Somehow you think that I might get some answer. Maybe somehow you think that I might give you some answer, but maybe You don't respect me, maybe you think that I'm an asshole, that is different, okay? But somehow you are here because you think probably, I'm going to give you some answer, right? But I am being very very clear. Whenever I don't know something, I will tell you I don't know, okay? One thing that I know is non-duality is my experience 24 bar 7, okay? So whatever that happens after this, I would simply assume that it will happen, okay? For example, if I have emotions after this experience, I would know, okay, emotions will come after non-duality, because I know for sure that this non-duality is the 24 bar 7 reality for me. That is for sure, okay? What non-duality is just the English word for Advaita, okay? I am in Advaita 24 bar 7. Even now, when I am talking to you, I don't experience myself as a person, an entity different from the existence. So, no matter what I do, okay, it comes from my previous inclinations, previous programming. So, whatever I do, I can continue to do this. But a lot of people try to, a lot of things happened, okay? It was a joke, okay? Makes me laugh. Let me talk about this that in some other video, okay, about what other people said. Let me move on to next question, because what is surrender? Oh my god. uh, you really don't know what is surrender? You are asking me. See, surrendering is like, for example, you are going through some kind of experience, okay? The experience is not very pleasant, but you are fighting with yourself to change it. But can you? I mean, if there is a way to change the experience, for example, it is very very hot right now. You can turn on the air conditioner if the air conditioner is available. If you can turn on the fan if the fan is available. But what can you do if both is not available? Is there any use in fighting with it? Fighting with the issue that you have, mentally fighting with it. Surrendering is completely accepting what is happening right now, okay? This is what is happening. I cannot do anything about it. I completely surrender, okay? That is exactly what surrender means. When you stop fighting with what is, when you stop fighting with the reality, okay, that is exactly what surrender, okay? So I hope this answers your question. Actually, I had attached with the person since last 1 month now, but this attachment not give me anything. But I like this person. What can I do? That is your story, friend. Okay, I don't really know what to say about this. Okay, but in reality, I will tell you one thing. Okay, when it comes to art, you can. I will tell you one thing. Okay, I will tell you one thing. My piece of advice based on my experience. You can attach to this laptop. There is no harm. There is not much harm actually. You can be attached to this mobile phone, but when you're attached to the person, okay, you will feel miserable, because there is no guarantee that the person will stay with you, right? The person will behave according to your expectations. So it is better to drop that attachment. Forget about it. Okay, take it easy. Maybe you can divert. You can probably think about something else. In my case, I'm telling you, it is not. There is a. I think I have already told you. There is a mild attachment with stuff that doesn't harm me. Okay, unless it is very very mild. It is very very mild. That helps, because when attachment is very mild, it only helps you to take care of the practical things, okay? It doesn't bother you, it doesn't cause suffering. But when it is too much, attachment to a person is much worse than attachment to things. Trust me, I have gone through this, okay? So it is better not to get attached to a person, because there is no guarantee about it, okay? The person has his own feelings. This water bottle doesn't have any feeling, right? I can get attached to it, right? So, but what the this bottle will not walk away from me, but a person can walk away from you, from your life. I hope you understand. Oh man, there is a lot of questions. Oh my God. Do you know anybody living right now who we can simply make eye contact with and glimpse Advaita? like Ramana Maharishi. Okay, now you have read about Ramana Maharishi. You think you believe that just because you make eye contact with Ramana Maharishi, you will be enlightened. First of all, that is not true. That didn't even happen during Ramana Maharishi's time. But possibly people went through some spiritual experiences by eye contact. But that can happen with me too, okay? That can happen with many people who have traveled the path. It is not that I have got the contact details, address, phone number of people who have got awakened, okay? You have to try. It is all trial and error, okay? I myself went through all these things. Many people claimed, many people came as gurus in my own life. There was a guy, who wanted me, okay, because he discovered my talents. He wanted me to be his what do you call, whatever he speaks, I have to transcribe that into a book. All these things will happen, but don't rely on another person, okay, including me, okay? Don't. Because the question clearly conveys one thing: you are looking for somebody else to give you some experience. I am telling you, it is better to meditate, discover yourself. That is better, okay? Because trying to find out a person who can give you some kind of spiritual experience. I know that it happened in Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's and Vivekananda. Vivekananda went to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, okay? And Vivekananda asked Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, have you seen God? Ramakrishna Paramahamsa replied, I see him clearly, more clearly than I see you, okay? Even you are very, very blurry in my vision, but God is perfectly there. I can see him always. And he touched Vivekananda's forehead or something, okay? And then Vivekananda had some spiritual experience. Now you're asking me the same question, right? Where can I find somebody like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa who can give you spiritual experience, right? I'm telling you this. Maybe you will find somebody. It might happen in the next 40 years, but you will be better off if you just go ahead and do meditation, whatever you know, right? See, in today's world, lot of resources are available, and trial and error plays a very important role in spirituality. There are no concrete rules. Do this and you will get enlightened. Trial and error is the only way to go, okay? But yes, whatever I can do, I have explained everything in my videos. I will continue to explain, okay? There is no problem, but don't rely on other people to give you any spiritual experience, okay? There is no point in that, okay? If somebody else is going to cause you spiritual experience, they can also take it away, right? What is the point? You have to experience it yourself. Can you type Katsu Ishida in Google and your laptop and search and answer whether Osho is a Maitreya Buddha? Okay, I don't know, but I don't want to type it right now because I am about to finish the call right now. It has been too long, right? But I know there is a discourse where Osho said Maitreya Buddha, something like that. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Okay, I told you already, right? When I don't know something, I will just say I don't know. I clearly don't know. If I talk more about this, okay, it will look like I'm bad-mouthing Osho. But one thing that I can give you a hint: don't trust anybody blindly, including Osho, Ramana Maharshi, or anybody else, because everybody is prone to make mistakes. I hope you get my point, okay? In book Osho, the Upanishads, chapter 35, 3 sannyasin say several of them saw Buddha's soul. Yeah, I have also read this, okay? Again, I refer to what I said just now. I have already read the chapter, okay? I have read that chapter, but I can't confirm, okay? I can't really confirm about this. My honest answer is I don't know, okay? Let's move on to the next question. Do people around you feel your presence and peace? They haven't told me about this, but I have observed that people, one thing that I can tell you is, when it comes to before this awakening that happened in 2014 and after this, okay, it has been almost 10 years, right? 2014 is where I completely realized. It is when I began to experience this 24/7. After that, I felt that many people came to me, many people, not just, in fact, I could see there was a tremendous change. Suddenly people started respecting me. People started approaching. That happened. Okay, that happened. I have to admit it. It was true. But nobody told me, like, they don't have to tell me that, right? I mean, nobody told me that I'm experiencing peace in your presence. So I don't know. But one thing that I observed is I got much more people talking to me, interacting me, even getting attached to me after my own realization. That was true. Is Advaita against free will for the body mind? Against free will? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? I mean, you have to elaborate on this question. I mean, if somebody is born in poverty and other is born in a palace, the person born in poverty has many physical problems and has to endure physical pain. So does this pain has meaning? Okay, let me tell you one thing, okay? Let me tell you one thing. A person who is born in poverty and a person who is rich, do you think that the rich person is very happy than the poor person? That is not really true. That is not true. It appears so. But everybody, okay, like for example, I'll give you one simple example, okay? If you are a beggar, okay, if you're a beggar, you don't have any money, and suddenly I give you 10 rupees, you'll be very happy, right? But if you are not a beggar, if you are a rich person, and if I give you 10 rupees, will you be happy? What the hell are you doing? 10 rupees, why are you giving this money? But if I give you $10 million, you will be happy, right? So the difference is, just because you are poor, it doesn't mean that you are less happier than the rich person. No. Everybody, I mean, this is the concept of hedonic treadmill that I explained in my book, okay? You can look up hedonic treadmill, okay? I have explained this. So just because you are born poor and somebody else is rich, it doesn't mean that he is happier than you. It is just an illusion. You think so. He is not happier than you. He is experiencing the same amount of happiness as you, okay? Thank you so much for guiding me. You're welcome. I'm very happy that I'm being helpful. Oh my God, it's taking a lot of time, man. Stop your questions, because whenever I see questions, I'm tempted to answer and I don't really feel like time is moving. See, I wanted to tell you one thing, okay? The first experience that I felt, see, first of all, to avoid confusion, let me be very clear. I have gone through two different transformations. One happened in 2004 or 2003, I think. The other one happened in 2014. Okay. So 2003 or 4 was like an introduction to the path. That itself made me happier. And that is where a lot of people get stuck. Because whatever experience that I had in 2003, if you go through the same experience, you will definitely have the inclination or desire to share that with other people. But it can be also misleading, because you can fall into a trap, okay? So better avoid that. But one thing that I wanted to mention is that when it happened in 2003, after that I no longer felt that I am getting old. In 2003, I think I was like 18 years old. I still feel like I'm 18 years old, to be honest, okay? That is the personal feeling. I never ever felt after that I'm getting old at all. I don't know, it is weird, but this is true, okay? Both plants and animals are living beings. Can you argue why we should eat vegetables? Because we are killing. Let me tell you one thing, okay? So the whole question comes because, you think that being let us first talk about being vegetarian and non-vegetarian. Do you know something? I am a non-vegetarian. I eat meat. You may say, no, Buddha didn't eat meat. Ramana Maharshi didn't eat meat. You're eating meat and you're not enlightened. Let me first tell you something, okay? This is a whole concept for a new video, okay? Let us talk about goats and cows, okay? We domesticated them, right? We domesticated them. If they were living in forests, if we never domesticated them, all these goats and cows, they always live in danger, okay? At some point of time, anyhow, they are going to be killed. Anyhow, they are going to be killed at some point of time. They either before they go through natural death, some predator will eat those cows. right? Sometimes what will happen is, usually when the lions and tigers hunt, okay, they will actually aim for the young ones, okay, the calves, because they're very easy to hunt, right? So a calf which is getting hunt, it didn't even get to experience life at all. It didn't reproduce, it didn't have sex, it just died when it was very, very young. Such a tragedy can happen when a cow is living in a forest, because a cow that lives in a forest has to live in a constant fear. Do you understand this? But when you domesticate the same cow, the cow doesn't have to live in the fear at all, right? You are giving the cow a safe environment. You are guaranteeing food for the cow. You're also letting the cow to reproduce. So the cow goes through all phases of life. It gets food, it gets security and safety, it has a good place to stay, it gets love and care and affection, it gets to reproduce, it does all that thing. And one day, the person who owns that cow or bull or whatever it is may kill the cow for meat. What is wrong with that? Because the cow is going through a very, very peaceful death. Imagine the same cow living in the forest. The lion is dragging the cow for 1 kilometer, okay, hurting the cow. The cow is shouting in the pain for 1 hour, and then finally it is dead. Is that good for the cow? Or just compare the two life, okay, a cow that is living in the forest, which is living in the constant fear, okay, but a cow that is living in a farm, maybe finally it is killed for meat. What is wrong with that? So killing is not wrong, okay, killing is very, very natural. I'm not saying that go ahead and kill someone. I'm generally telling you, in nature, okay, when it comes to nature, killing a life, okay, whether it is plant or vegetable, you are killing it for food, right? It is not wrong. But how do you kill it? That is what matters. Because anyhow, these animals are destined to be killed, because that is how they are, right? A lion or tiger will kill it tomorrow. So that is my argument regarding being non-vegetarian. Not being non-vegetarian is not against dharma. So why did Buddha say that? Because Buddha lived 2600 years before I live today, right? Buddha didn't have mobile phone, I have phone. Buddha didn't have WhatsApp, I have WhatsApp. He didn't have access to Google, I have. So obviously, in my opinion, if you are non-vegetarian, it doesn't mean that you are not spiritual, okay? So yes, you can eat. Don't worry about too much, okay? That is the okay, yeah. That is the problem with Jainism. Actually, that's what I wanted to say. My God, you keep raising a lot of questions, man. Have you ever thought of getting a pet dog or cat for company and love? Can animals feel your presence? Do you recommend pets for seekers? Okay, see, there are a lot of questions here. Okay, I can't answer everything right now. Does learning psychology, neuroscience help in our journey towards realization? First of all, I'm telling you, okay, learning psychology, neuroscience doesn't help you to realize the self, but maybe you can understand much more about it. That's it, okay? So guys, that's it, guys. It's time. Okay, I want to sleep. Okay, because unless I'm very conscious about the time, I can just keep talking unless it is 6 a.m. in the morning. That is the truth about me. Okay, so I'm sorry. Okay, I can't take any more of your questions for today. Okay, but let us talk some other time. Okay, but I hope you are satisfied with whatever that I said. Okay, see, guys, for me it is very, very simple. Okay, I will summarize this and finish this. Okay, I am not claiming that I know everything, but whatever that I have told, okay, I have actually I have I have made sure that I am very, very honest about my own experiences. So from my first book till date, okay, I am only sharing my own experience, right? Don't claim to be a teacher. I am not a teacher. I am not an all knower, okay? So I am not in any way superior than you. I am not a teacher at all, okay? I am just sharing what happened to me. That's it, okay? So that's it, guys. Okay, so I earlier heard you saying that you are a vegetarian. No, actually, see, for me, it is like, I just eat whatever I feel like eating, right? I don't kill and eat any animal, right? I just go to a restaurant, I order food. So, okay, let me end this. Okay, it is very. You need to know this, guys. Okay, do you think Buddha was vegetarian? Buddha was not a vegetarian. First of all, was Buddha a vegetarian? Answer this question. Do you know how Buddha died? Buddha died after eating pork. Okay. See, I will tell you one thing. Okay. This whole concept of being a vegetarian. Okay. Just because you are a vegetarian, do you know why this happens? Because there are a lot of people who are born in a certain castes. They are vegetarians from their birth, so they want to take a credit. They want to, oh no, I am superior because I'm vegetarian. Okay, I am vegetarian, so I am superior. That's what they want to know. The thing is, Buddha himself was not vegetarian. Not only Buddha, none of the sannyasins who lived in those times was vegetarians. Do you know why? The answer is very, very simple. Sannyasins lived by begging, okay? They lived only by begging. They did not cook their own food. They begged. So when you go to a house and beg, whatever they gave you, you have to eat them. There is no other choice. A beggar cannot be a chooser, right? How can a beggar choose to be a vegetarian? Tell me. There is a proverb in English, guys. Beggar cannot be a chooser, okay? None of the sannyasins of Buddha and not were vegetarians. Buddha was a non-vegetarian because he ate meat. He ate pork the day before he died, okay? Please keep that in mind, okay? So somebody asked some last question, guys. Yeah, Osho was against non-vegetarian, but I'm not Osho, okay? See, I'm telling you very clearly, okay? Osho, not only Osho, okay? Everybody was wrong in certain things, and I might be also wrong in certain things too, okay? I don't take Osho as an authority, right? So Osho was against non-vegetarian because he was born non-vegetarian, no, born vegetarian, okay? He was a Jain, right? So that is different, but for me it is a different situation, okay? So see, one thing is true, okay? These days animals are treated very, very badly because this meat industry has become a very big business. Maybe we have to, it is not like what I explained, okay? I explained about having growing animals in our own farms and killing them sometime, okay, for food. That is not wrong. I don't think that it is wrong because we are giving a better environment for the animals. That is the truth. We let them to grow. We give them a very safe and secure environment. We give them food every day. The food is guaranteed. They don't have any fear of not having food at all, okay? Food, reproduction, comfort, security, everything is guaranteed for these animals. Only thing is, one day we just kill them and we eat. That's it. And we kill them with one shot. That is better than living in a jungle, right? Think about it. It is 1,000 times better than that. Okay. So yeah, that's it, guys. I'm going to end this, okay, because you're not going to stop asking me questions. Okay. So have a good night. I'm going to sleep. Hopefully. Okay. Bye.